This is my Ducati 998. You know, I love this bike, but a part of me kind of hates it. Now, don't get me wrong, what this bike does well, it does an exceptional job at it. It's a timeless design, very minimalistic, and despite a heavy all-steel frame, headlights and taillights that appear to be a mere afterthought, there's a no-nonsense design theory that carries throughout the remainder of the bike. The fuel tank, for example, is thinner than most. It really lets you control the bike, and more importantly, road imperfections won't hurt your private areas as much, which is nice. Fairings are void of any slits or hard angles. Features that stand out is a lonely NACA duct, a single-sided swing arm holding magnesium wheels, and an undertail exhaust. Oh, and the noise it makes. Whoo! What you're going to hear is a high revving variation of a V-twin. The rattling sound is coming from an open air cover of a dry clutch. And no, it's not broken. Now, you're not going to win any drag races. It has about the same horsepower as a modern-day 600 and the torque from a typical leader bike. Even in 2002, the 998 won the hearts of all the journalists that rode it. It rarely ever beat out the other bikes of its time. A very famous trio have said that Italian automotive manufacturers give their creations character, personality. I never really quite understood that until this bike. Cue clutch. You see, this bike is not afraid of letting you know it hates going slow. Too low in the revs, forget to downshift, the engine groans and stutters. The heavier than usual clutch, the Superman-like riding position that you're in, you can bet your arms are going to be sore as all hell. The temperature gauge, which is proudly displayed in the center of the cluster, if you're not giving this bike the speed that it wants, you'll see that needle finding its way into the red. That's when the two little cooling fans come on, and they're very audible. But to little of no effect. You'll feel your thighs warm up through the nearby vents. So you're fighting fatigue, heat, and at the same time, you're wrestling the bike as it shows you attitude, refusing to respond in a slow turn that you'd find in an urban environment. But if you give the 998 what it wants, letting it run at a track, letting it unleash the sudden burst of torque that only the V, or rather an L-twin, can deliver, so much so that a downshift without rev matching can spin the rear tire. Or if you can find yourself in the canyons with long sweepers, it feels different, almost like it's finally in a good mood. What once was a sluggish and doubt-inducing is now planted, stable and nimble. Every lean, every weight transfer, it obeys happily. You find yourself smiling, and somehow you know the bike is grinning too.
It just fell off. Oh shit! It just fell off.